Hello again. Welcome to the Scale Builders Guild channel. I want to thank you. We've seen a huge jump in the subscriber base. It's really nice. Thank you so much. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do now. There's a button somewhere, maybe over here. I think it's over here. Anywho, please do subscribe. I try to do at least one or two of these videos a month. I'm really trying to ramp that up. And as more vendors are coming on board to the Scale Builders Guild, the better opportunity there is for that. We're getting a lot of new products coming out. Scale as a hobby has really taken off. I see a lot of potential in it, and obviously others do too, because we're starting to hit some serious numbers on the forum, starting to hit some serious numbers on the Facebook page, and definitely on the Instagram account. So do subscribe, do go to the forum, do all those things. Don't do what Johnny Don't does, but do, I don't know. Today we've got a really exciting unboxing to do. Courtesy of our friends at AsiaTees, we've got the new Killerbody. That's the company name, Killerbody. Killerbody. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they've got a license for a Toyota Land Cruiser. And that chuffs me right in the Gulliver. My Gulliver is so chuffed. I don't know if it's showing. I hope it's not showing. Imagine a very chuffed Gulliver right now. That's not dirty, by the way. I don't think. Gosh, you know what? Someone do me a solid and Google what chuffing your Gulliver is. And if it's gross, well, I just made a funny. So let's take a look at the box. I think that's probably the best place to start. Now that is pretty Toyota-ly awesome. Oh, I can't believe I said that. This is a nice box. This is a nice box. Wow-wee. Okay, see right there? Official licensed product. This means that Toyota looked at this and said, yep, that's a Toyota Land Cruiser. You go ahead and make that and pay us a lot of money. So kudos to you, Killerbody, for making this killer body. This is scale hard body with a 313 millimeter wheelbase, which is perfect for an SCX10, any of those codes there. So anything that's basically like a honcho, it's gonna fit that quite nicely. Also, if you've got a RC4WD TF2 long wheelbase, it'll also fit on here pretty good. Okay, let's open the box. That is a nice box. Oh God, jeez, it's upside down again. I have no luck with these things. I should probably just box it back up and return it. If you've ever been on the Scale Builders Guild, you know we like to make fun of things that are upside down. I don't know why we started that joke, but we did, and it's always pretty funny. Okay, so we have a manual. You can see that it's a Land Cruiser. There are thorough instructions, which I will follow at a later date. Okay. All right. Now, first things first, nice and shiny. I don't see a lot of flash. Looks pretty clean. Yeah, that's a good looking bed. Nice, decent depth. That is very cool. You can see the fuel filler cap here, and then a nice contrasting bit of where that would go on the inside of the bed. That's very cool. I don't know what's in here. What could it be? It doesn't feel like there's much in there. What could it be? It's parts, of course. Why did I know that? It certainly is. It's a small bag. It's a small bag of screws. So, and some nuts. Ooh la la. That's very nice. Now, I don't have one in front of me, but kind of feels like it's sort of the right kind of size if you're comparing it to like a Hilux, like a Tamiya Hilux body. It's kind of similar. Oh, look at that. Okay, so hey, interesting. That's just Lexan glass, but that's cool. I don't, why make a really heavy window when you can make a really light one? And then you can actually paint in the detail there with some Lexan paint. That's all right. That's cool. All right, so there you go. Bed and cab. Some nice detail work. Some little like faux looking little bolts and stuff like you would have on the interior there. That's cool. Nice deep recesses on the vents at the top there. I guess these are the decals. Oh, there's all kinds of nice little bits. It even looks like it includes, what is that? Stainless steel pedal. I don't know what that means. Stainless steel pedal. I'll have to look at that. But these are all good quality stickers, nice and sharp on the detail, and looks like they included some window trim, which is a nice little bonus there. Got some bumper and trim and step ladders, step side thingies, step things. That sounds accurate. All nicely molded in gray, which is a nice complement to the white. Now, that's probably going to blow your mind a little bit, but pre-painted lenses. That is pretty slick. Because I always find that's one of the most fiddly little bits of building a truck, is getting the lenses painted and having it look really good. This is great. Doors, nice and shiny. That's cool that they open and close. Well, maybe they don't actually. No, I don't think these ones do in particular. I don't see any sort of hinge apparatus there, so maybe I'm wrong on that. Man, I love how squared off these Land Cruisers are. That's something that I've struggled with in some of my scratch builds, so very cool to see that kind of level of detail. Ah, yes, it must be a turbo, mate. It's got the hood scoop. Surprise! They did the same kind of level of detail on the inside. That is so cool. So I guess if you were to build this on, say, like a GCM C-Max chassis, you could actually have, well, I mean, for goofs, you could have a 22R in there, maybe even an RE for all that extra power. And that's the thing about the Scale Builders Guild that I love so much, is that people are willing to take their builds to the next level, and with Killerbody giving you all this detail on the inside of the hood and in the engine compartment in general, why not throw like a 3D printed motor in there and really take this to that level? I mean, there's nothing stopping you. So they gave you a left-hand drive or right-hand drive. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that right down the middle and make it left-hand drive and right-hand drive, just to troll people, because I love to do really dumb things, especially on my Toyota builds, so why not? I think that'll be hilarious. Only bummer, these are Lexan, so not as much detail as I would probably like. I'm not sure why they decided to do that. Maybe cost prohibitive to mold in ABS. I know this isn't a full interior anyway, but I have heard that could possibly be a thing later on, so maybe all of these little bits will get replaced. Here's some more Gulliver chuffing moments for me. I like the chrome bits, are nice. Chrome's not my most favorite thing in the whole world, because it does kind of fall apart in terms of its looks, just because it's shiny, but it's not quite right. Anyway, I'll probably dull most of this down or even paint it just to give it a different look. But check that out. Look at those tiny little Toyota logos. So cool. That really makes me happy, and it's a nice little added bonus. It's not something you would typically get. I guess this is like a back rack or a rack attack, or maybe it's a gun rack. I don't know. A gun rack. What am I gonna do with a gun rack? Free snorkel! And look, it's branded Land Cruiser. That's awesome. There's a bunch of mirror parts on here, some wipers, a steering wheel for steering. Yes, I'm down with that. That's great. It's a little hard to see here, but that says Toyota in the proper lettering. So it's legit, and that bed looks like it's a movable one, so you could have it up or down. Also, you'll see that all the little hinges and everything are a separate piece, which is different from the Tamiya or the Mojave kits that are out there. It's all separate, so that, again, that's a nice little extra bit. There's some other like little bits and pieces here. I don't know what these are for. Oh, it's for the top of the bed. Okay, so see, there's all your little clippy things for if you were gonna like secure your load. You know those. I don't know what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about. So there you have it. That's everything that came in the box. I would say from the moment I got it to the moment I got through all of the bits, I'm severely impressed. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Now I think it's probably a good idea, and I can do this quite easily. Is I want to compare it to like a Mojave. I think it's worth us going through that exercise just to see how this thing stacks up in terms of its scale. On the box, it says that it's 110, which always makes me nervous because 110 means a lot of things to a lot of people. What 110 should mean is that 1 inch equals 10 inches. But rarely do we ever actually see that. Like, Tamiya's Hilux body is actually more like 1/9. So that's 1 inch equals 9 inches. You get it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Hilux body out of a box real quick, and we're going to set the camera up again, and we'll get a better look and see how this thing stacks up. I'll get actual dimensions of this body so we know where it actually sits in terms of its actual scale. I think we can safely say that a Toyota Hilux should not be as big as a 70 series Land Cruiser. The wheelbases are obviously quite different, but overall length, not so much. I mean, there's about an inch difference between the two of them, and that doesn't compute. It scales to about 1/10, so it's in real life its wheelbase is 3,180 millimeters, and here it's 313 millimeters. So that's about as close to 1/10 as you really need to get. So it is a bit smaller than the typical Hilux in terms of its actual scale, but I mean, putting the two side by side, it's not that big of a difference. So now all we have to do is find some axles that'll fit under it right. I know the TF2 axles will work just fine for keeping everything narrow, and I mean, you get a nice offset wheel, you'll be totally fine to tuck. Maybe not in the rear though, because I know that on the front there's a bit of a fender flare. On the back there is no flare, so they might stick out a bit more there. But overall, like, I'm not disappointed by any means. It's just a little bit smaller than I'm used to. Most of the stuff that we're looking at these days seems to be going a little bit larger. I mean, 1/9, 1/8 isn't unexpected. What's huge? Oh, the AsiaTees Team Raffi D90 and D110. They're massive. I think they're closer to 1/8 or 1/7.5. Oh, one thing to note, because it is a flat bed and they actually did a good job of keeping the depth on the bed, if you're going to run this on an SCX-10, you're going to want to put a cantilever kit in the rear to make sure it doesn't look super ridiculously lifted. So, as luck would have it, Scale Builders Guild has a Shapeways store, and in that Shapeways store we sell that little mounting piece that is, basically the same thing as others. It's just way more competitively priced. So you can hop over to Shapeways. I'll put the link in the description so you can check that out and save yourself a few bucks. You will still need to get all of the, and I used Traxxas, I think E-Revo or the Mini Revo 1/16 shocks, and their little tiny, whatever it is, like the lay down little shock bit. I can't remember what that is, but I mean, you can find them on eBay. You'll pay a lot less than buying a built together kit. So just an option there for you, and it'll actually look a lot better on an SCX10 once you've got that flat floor and you still have all the articulation benefits of a cantilever system. This should plop quite nicely on a TF2 long wheelbase chassis. So if you've got one of those sitting around not doing anything, try this Land Cruiser body out. You won't be disappointed. My thanks again to AsiaTees and Killerbody for sending this my way. This is a really great body. Again, for the money that it's costing, you're getting a really good value. There's a lot of bits here and a lot of room for customization. So all in all, very, very pleased. This is a good one, and if you can get one now, because I guarantee you these are going to go quick.